I'm coming back from here.
Yeah, you know, I really thought this was going to be potentially their series to win it. As we go into Sky Temple, will be the map choice of this time at GG, as they did win that previous map. So they want to end this quickly, seems to be. And that was a pretty dominant game number one. Both teams having solid drafts, too. I don't feel like either draft was weak. But with the early game lead that they had, it really hurt some of the choices that BlossoM made later. For example, the Sundering. I feel like we could have had even better fights if there was an Earthquake there. Some of the slows where they have Lucio to chase. Some of the defensive engagements they took could have been even better. But, you know, this is, again, a series I thought was going to be a closer one. I thought all three games, if it was going to be a 3-0, it would be close.
It's only 1-0.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a close series in general, and with close games. And with how that first game went, it might be more landslided than I initially anticipated. But as you said, it's not over till it's over.
Yep, that is the meta of here. It's not over until the core goes down.
Yep.
Never give up.
Never surrender. No surrender button in this game. Thank God. Imagine solo queue with that.
But let's see. Zeratul already banned. They do not want GG Good to be on his Zeratul. Of course, he's the one on that crazy Zeratul place. Makes all the difference during team fights and all the rotations. He even gets picks off. What a great player. And with that, now BlossoM realizing Falstad Gus was way too powerful. Now No Chat will be very likely to be on that Falstad.
So, I like the approach from the start here for BlossoM to control the globals. We may see a Malfurion Dahaka rotation for GG now, just to make sure they have it. I didn't ask for these powers.
The Hakan Malfurion coming out from GG, and as we saw from the last game, that's not the really most common thing. Just picking Vala as a DPS damage without much protection. At beginning, we saw Vala just cutting off a few times, getting cut off a few times, but didn't really happen later on. She seemed to be pretty good on that positioning, offensive and defensively.
Yeah, I mean, you have two targets for protection or positioning. When you have solo DPS Vala, you need really good protection because she is going to have to carry you. She's also going to have to, with the Ariel, for example, build up enough hope to defend herself. So she's healing herself essentially with her auto attacks, with a good Ariel to make sure that she's hitting all the heals. But when you have two, she doesn't have to be as protected, and you can see a lot more flexibility with how it's played. Vala will be coming out here with Ariel though, which means I feel like 100% this is a Zarya ban.
Very, very likely.
I mean, No Chat would love to play Zarya with this. You would love!
But on the other hand, I think Tyrael is also a very good ban. I think Vala and Falstad on that sync would put off so much damage for that time they're on the sync. And Wiz, I believe he has played some Tyrael before, and this isn't the most perfect map for his Thrall, as we saw in game number one.
You know, the more I think about it, I like your thinking here. They're highlighting the Arthas, which they're definitely afraid of because he's such a top-tier warrior right now, which would also suit BlossoM's comp to help slow the targets down for the double damage, just like we saw in Spider Queen. Similarly to how I really would have liked to see Earthquake out of Wiz in the previous game. They're going to just let the Arthas ban go through, though. Which I think, actually, your reasoning about the Tyrael may be, if allowed by GG, what we see from BlossoM. The more I think about it, the more I like it. Just so much freedom of damage. Tychus is banned here. So they'll at least have the Li Ming. And they may end up going down the Sergeant Hammer route because of the Tychus ban. With Vala and Falstad removed, there's not a whole lot left. There's the Hammer. And Muradin, so they're saving the 5th pick for flexibility. Still likely the Li Ming, but could see a Gul'dan even. Not out of the question.
They may actually think Falstad Vala is enough damage, but the tank options are limited. Arthas gone, Muradin taken away, ETC maybe, but not the most tanky hero on the front line.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Even Artanis is available with that shielding, can provide some protection for himself.
It wouldn't be crazy, but I really like the Tyrael pick that you mentioned. I think that synergizes with everything, gives them a strong solo laner, and
but Tyrael is not. It's pretty good, but does not provide that protection in the front line. And with Sergeant Hammer and possibly another DPS coming in at the very last pick, I don't think Tyrael can actually. Oh, okay.
I'm gonna do both.
Both instead. Nice.
Well, the cool thing about this is there's a lot of CC for ETC. He also could be a semi-global. Tyrael's a soft counter to Li Ming in this case because, yes, as you mentioned, he's not the strongest frontliner, especially against Hammer, but against Li Ming, he's quite good with his spell damage reduction. So, and also his ability to just kind of burst out shields. There's the Li Ming 5th pick lock-in. I actually like BlossoM's draft more than GG's. They have flexibility of damage. They have the Ariel. It's going to work well with this. And they have good protection for team fights with the Tyrael and the ETC. Even if it's not for the global, the Mosh Pit potential is very threatening, very scary. Could win them a fight straight up. Could be paired with the Sanctification. BlossoM with a much better draft, I feel like, in game number 2. We'll see if they could tie this one up 1-1. GG, though, with a dominant performance in game number 1. They want to take their map pick, take this into a 2-0, then potentially a 3-0. Let's go into game number 2. Sky Temple is the map. In blue, GG. BDG on Sergeant Hammer, Jaehyun on Malfurion, Good on Dahako, Hooligan on Muradin, and Wujie on Li Ming.
And in red, BlossoM, Scarlet on Ariel, Dudu on Vala, Wiz on Tyrael, Judy on ETC, and No Chat on Falstad. Dudu gets his favorite on Vala.
Oh. Good gonna control the Watchtower, but this is a clever way to push around here at level 1. I'm going to look for a pick, evade here, and if anyone's coming down, they could have grabbed and gotten the kill, but instead, since no one comes down, they just not invade, but push the cannon towers here. First one's down.
Already.
A slight lead here to GG.
They're looking into a long game here as they already set themselves up for that second temple phase.
If all set into season marksman again. So we're going to be looking for that long game. See how quickly he gets his stacks, No Chat, this game. 12-20 last game for Wujie. See a lot. It's going to probably take him a lot longer on this map, but we shall see. Detainment strike here on the Hooligan, but doesn't even need to Dwarf Toss to get his way out of this one. That was a silly tongue there.
The drag does not connect. Really
He's just sticking his tongue out at him, laughing at him.
Of course, with that Sergeant Hammer having all that siege potential and the wave clear also.
This is the threat of ETC in the early game, but unfortunately, Li Ming has teleport, so does escape.
Sergeant Hammer actually going to fully commit into this bottom lane instead of joining for the team fight.
And a very quick call out that the rotation was coming. So she pulls 2 by herself as a 1 body. This means that the shrine will be 1 for GG. Vala has half the damage removed. And you see the rotation down here for No Chat to actually have some extra damage, but it took him a while.
For the time being, and also Dahaka is being super careful and actually joins the fight from the bush. This gets Demon Strike right away. It's a 5v4. Sergeant Hammer also joins the fight.
Dudu is free to do damage, though. No one is even pressuring him. Hooligan finally gets in there, and a few magic missiles connect, but a good heal coming out from Scarlet. And this is actually being very well controlled right now by BlossoM. Look at this power slide. It's going to be a double.
Ooh, that face melt was big. Really canceling that Dwarf Toss and also power slide catching 2, as you mentioned. It's got 2 kills right off there. You see some power of ETC coming into action. We've been missing this ETC play a lot.
I have, personally, especially, really been missing it. ETC is one of my favorite heroes, and he's a game changer, and they're using him very well to pressure the early game. The entire Shrine, minus maybe 2 or 3 shots at the beginning, will go to BlossoM. They take a whole level lead, and they're actually starting to take control of the top temple as well.
Now this looks like the BlossoM that we would like to see, having Falstad on the bottom with the Haka. And look at this coordination, just well played. And Morden almost bursted into death, but not so close.
Yeah.
And Falstad, of course, after clearing the wave, cannot fly over all the way to the top at once, so choosing to go mid.
Yeah, just kind of a jump up for both to the mid lane. Looks like GG is looking to try to force this away, take control, but look at this, 90% of the Shrine, the temple I should say, taken here for BlossoM. Dudu gets healed up despite the damage coming down, but here comes the brush stock. They're going to get the kill here onto ETC immediately. Can they get more? Dudu is really on the chase here for Hooligan. Could have found himself rooted if he was not careful.
Rooted and grabbed by the tongue. The tongue wins power slide. That's the story of today.
Well, the tongues have not been good so far for good. No pun intended, but
that was intended.
No, it wasn't. I mean, I really, that was actually just, I mean, they have not been on point, should I say, or they have not been stellar. They have not been proper. They have not connected. So, he's missed quite a few of them, unfortunately, but they do get the last few shots on that temple, and they are going to stay only about 2/3 a level behind. They're going to be on even talent tiers for the next temple, which is important because that is usually the one that determines who gets heroics first. If you look at this bot lane, it's just going to be BDG versus Wiz. The Siege Giant's taken here first for GG, but the stronger Bruiser camp is taken for BlossoM, so that's going to be the counter pressure on the opposite side of the map from that temple phase, especially if No Chat escorts it forward. It's going to be really a lot of pressure on that top forward. But this is what this GG is committing to, what they believe to be more important, is this bot healing fountain.
Yes, that's right, and even the Haka really has to soak both lanes, chooses to soak the middle lane instead, and then going for that top push. And this top push has been doing some damage onto the fort, I believe. And also Falstad going for an auto attack build.
Yep.
It's almost gone.
Yep, it's almost gone. It looks like he will be able to save it. They did get the fountain. It's going to be level 9 here for BlossoM regardless, and actually that fort will go down. No Chat is willing to commit all the way, and there's still a few Knight minions here alive to push it down. Judy, look at his position here, trying to actually get the face melt onto Muradin, does not actually do so. Dudu's on the chase. He's got a lot of stacks. You can tell by his movement speed there, but Hooligan will get away and heal. No Chat on the chase, misses his Q. Will he get through? No. Oh. And even gets slowed here. They may try to follow up on him. Nope. Judy with a good block here as well on the missiles. That was a close call on both accounts, but BlossoM has level 10 first, partially from that extra fort, from the extra soak. They may not have a healing fountain, but I feel heroics are much more important.
Yep, that's right. If they didn't lose the fort, maybe it was all worth it to actually fully commit and push the bottom lane. But with that fort down, I think BlossoM hitting that level 10 really makes the bigger difference, as you mentioned.
So GG once again is just going to kind of take the opposite approach and push to try to do the same amount of damage at the temple. Pretty unusual for that to actually occur. And BDG just trying to get some extra soak in mid. They're going to have 10 really soon. It is actually going to be stage dive. I'm liking how BlossoM is playing this. It's going to be stage dive here for ETC. So they've got the double globals. They've been out-rotating GG. They've been controlling the objective really well all game long.
They want to snowball this lead into the global, and of course having Falstad within the fight and making ETC on the side, just having that wave clear with the Echo Pedal and diving in with the stage dive would work. Here comes the Haka. Detainment Strike to just stall some time.
Ooh, there's a good grab on the Dudu, but there's no follow-up. Nobody's here. Sanctification is used. So that was a pretty expensive heroic usage there for BlossoM, but they do disengage. The bot fort is super low. One Falstad auto would probably kill it at this point, as we see the posturing around the boss.
Hooligan is very Oh,
Oh,
that
man.
was a big mistake.
That
But
was disastrous.
He was not at full health. I think that made a lot of difference. Good. Putting on that adaptation. Lots of heroic used for GG.
I feel like BlossoM, you know, they were in a slightly vulnerable position because they didn't have Sanctification. That's what GG was looking for there. But if you're going to just blind go in like that, you have to Avatar first, not second. So not only, as you said, did he die, but he wasted his heroic. So it's now down for 60 more seconds. Adaptation was used as well. They didn't gain anything from this. They've now lost their bot fort. And BlossoM could look to rotate for boss once they hit 13 if they can get another pick in the meantime. It's going to be just the Siege Giants taken here for GG, who move as 4.
Okay, now
And look at the extra global. They have ETC now as global. He's up in the top lane.
Yep, that's right. They switched with Falstad, and now ETC can join the team fight anytime he wants to with that stage dive. Now this BlossoM looks like the BlossoM that we know before. They have been really struggling for the first week number 6, and the first day here, week number 7, and here comes the Gus. Exactly, no chat making the big plays.
I mean, I don't mean to be mean, but that was a solo queue Sergeant Hammer move to walk up and siege the fort like that. There's 2 globals that can come down and punish you, and exactly 2 of them came and got the kill there. It was not even, that fort was not even close to dead. That was a poor decision by BDG to actually commit there. And BlossoM just with a quick punish.
And this is a 3v4 only damage just to come out from Li Ming, and that's not going to be enough. So they have to back out. There's no way.
Look, it's going to be a double temple here. BlossoM is looking to really seal the deal in this game. This game is running away from GG. There's almost no way back in on this map either when it runs away from you this far. Everyone's respawned. Muradin still doesn't have Avatar. He used it in the last fight. So he's not going to be able to pop it once more. They have Sank too. I like the idea to take both as much as they can here. BlossoM may look to have Falstad fly in to make sure they get the last shots here.
A good grab onto Vala, but instantly canceled.
Here he comes. Oh, power slide up. Looking for the pick onto good here. Look at Wiz's positioning. He can Sank it. They can go in. There's the Sank. They're all going to follow it up. And they will secure the last shots here. Judy even with the stage dive. Good goes down. They can just get the last shots of this one. The bot one was nearly completely taken by Falstad. He wanted to wait a little bit longer, but had to come up. And BDG is going to go get the last part, because they know the globals are on cooldown. But you know what? Actually, if BlossoM's rotating down here to the boss, this is just too risky to even get the last shots. This game feels like it is almost over. I know, you know, the keeps aren't even down, but if this continues, GG has no path back into this game.
Yep, and Gust is still available. I don't think GG should be even contesting for this.
They definitely should not be. GG takes a lot of damage, but it doesn't matter. Boss is taken. Didn't even have to use Gust. Didn't even have Sanctification. Boss is angry. Get out of here. No chats like that. All right, boss, calm down.
And that's exactly the time that there will be a pause. Looks like we have some technical issues within the game.
Looks like No Chat is explaining the issue to the admin.
But I don't think there was anything wrong with his play. I think he was flying in at the right time, really using that Gust to disengage or to engage, get some picks off.
He's like, I want to talk to the other team. I think they're smurfing. Like, why is this game so easy compared to the last one?
I think GG has been into this hit by the snowball that BlossoM has been making. They are already hit, and look at their faces. They're hit. They're losing it. They didn't lose it yet, but of course BlossoM having all these better connections. I think Wiz bringing the Tyrael with ETC is working so well for themselves so far.
Would agree. I feel like the control of the globals has been massively in favor of BlossoM. Their temple control is good. They've been able to get most of the shots. They have the structural damage. They've been winning in lanes, and Sanctification has really worked out for them. The positioning of Wiz up at the front, Aldruinsing into the fight, dropping the Sank so that Falstad and the Vala can just kind of kite their way in. Hugin looks really frustrated with the scenario here, but it just, in general, the play has been better, and we're gonna see if the continued pressure that BlossoM has put on GG will actually win them this game to bring us to a third one. Seems that way. I think we just had the update on what is going on.
Yep,
but
and seems to be some issues on the monitor. I heard it's flickering a little bit, but we're going to continue with the match and see if it gets worse, then we'll pause it and fix it later on. And for now, it seems okay. So we're going to continue the game.
Yep, so as soon as the players are all 10 of them ready, we are going to jump back into this one. This is not a lost game yet for GG, but they're just so significantly behind. They have no tools to work with anymore in this game. They're going to have some miracle team fights. The boss is against them, as we mentioned before. It's like boss pretty much pushed all the way during that little pause there. Boss was like not paused. Oh man.
Justice 16. This is a lot of damage.
This is just another global kill. Global coordination, communication. I mean, this is exactly as you've been saying. I want to echo. This is the BlossoM we expected to see, and shot calling is good. GG is going to defend this Siege Giant push eventually. They save their keep. Boston completely knock it down. There is a window back in this game, but it is going to have to be done off of the backs of good team fighting, some of which will have to be done a talent tier down and scaling down. It will have to take opportunities as they come, and they can't just trade even. They need to crush. Using Disintegrate as wave clear here is definitely not going to help them do it.
GG has been focusing on good targets, has been dragging and Stormbolt on Vala sometimes, but it's all Scarlet taking care of Vala with that Ariel, with that Aegis. Protection is the way. That's why Valariel is just so strong in all the meta, and that's why all the teams try to take that duo into their team comp.
Yeah, it's usually with solo DPS Vala, but in this case, not even. Hooligan was trying to push down the bot fort to get them some extra EXP, is split pushing, but he's met with ETC, and oh boy, here comes No Chat. They're looking for him. Don't find him, sadly, so that was an unfortunate wasted flight, but had they found him, that would have been amazing for BlossoM. You can see the thought process behind that move. Double tempo phase coming up, and for GG, they're going to have the same talent tier. They did survive long enough for that to be the thing without losing any keeps. This tempo phase is their window back into this game. They need to make this happen.
Yep. Soon they will hit 16 with that flight back, flight on the bottom with Falstad, and also having ETC. That would actually mean ETC would need to stage dive all the way up, but instead they're going all the way in. They want the second wall and even pressuring to all the way to the keep.
I feel like they almost had to invade though with this and try to get a team fight kill before the keep goes down, because now they have the keep against them. 20's going to get hit against them first too, no matter which way you look at it. There's no way they can prevent that. So they didn't go all in on this. This is still their moment, quote unquote, but they're going to be 2 keeps down. I think that last shots will do it. Yeah, 2 keeps down. And yeah, they can fight now, but even if they win this fight, they can't win the game off of it. The keep pressure is going to be against them. They're going to have catapults in 2 lanes.
So they're not even going to contest. The ETC has been pushing on the bottom lane already. It's all the way up to the keep, and they really want to have this pressure on this both lanes.
The keep is, or the forts rather, in mid and bot are still alive, still very low, but still alive.
That's all that matters. If just one hit off, and if they're still up, if they don't get the EXP, that snowballs into the game. And I'm pretty sure if you're GG, you really want to get that fort down.
You do. It's just not easy. They're going to have the comeback EXP on them. But the bigger problem is not the EXP and not 20. It's the catapult pressure that's going to give BlossoM the 20. Give them the next tempo phase. And probably, by extension, give them the game.
Yep, there's the fort finally for GG, and they put on pressure in the middle lane, and the Haka has been soaking on bot, but now ETC and Falstad, the duo, has the pressure on top lane this time. GG has to respond, and they really want to take this fort down by that time.
Well, this is just
already hit 20.
Yeah, this is kind of a backdoor.
There's the seasoned marksman completed.
Much slower this time at 15:37, but it's just how this map goes. They have Gust to disengage. This is kind of a backdoor, not on the core, but on the keep. And it does work. It does force everybody back. They have 20. They could turn around and fight. They absolutely can if they have a good Sank. Here's the Avatar coming in for Hooligan. Sanctification still available. There's the disengaging Gust. And they're just going to back off. They don't want to take a fight. Not unless it's on their terms exactly. The longer this goes on, more catapult pressure as the temple will rise in 15 seconds. Look at this. Double catapults mid. Solo bot. Oh!
Bar slide
Good
misses,
dodge.
but no Avatar for Hooligan. Good. He's going to burrow and stall some time.
Oh, look at that Sank. Wu Jie is so dead. And so is Hooligan. Twilight Dream comes off here, but it doesn't matter. They don't need abilities to kill Jaehyun. There's the kill onto Dahaka. Here's the Gust, or not the Gust, but the Flight, for the secured kill onto BDG. And BlossoM is going to have an even more dominant game that GG did in game 1. They're going to crush this. 12 kills to 1. Level 21 to 18. And we are going to a game 3 at a 1-1 score. Well played. This was a much better game from BlossoM. A good draft, good coordination. It's not even about the target selection. It's about the macro play that we saw. Their decision to take stage dive got several picks. BDG overextending in the bot lane, trying to get that fort